So welcome back. Today I'm going to go over man's purpose, and this is part one. And because man was created for a reason. And then I want to go back over the scripture, Hebrews 4:10, where it says God rested from those labors peculiarly his own. Also it's found in Genesis 2:2 where he rested. And so it's really interesting to think about God laboring and resting, because you think about, well, God is God, But the thing of it is God, his labor was the creation of the entire universe and earth, with all of its creatures and the plant life and mankind. That was his labor, was creating everything. So then you think on terms of, well, he's God, so why would God need to rest? That's an interesting question. But there was a purpose in his rest, and he had a specific thought concerning rest for himself. And he rested so he could interact in relationship with his creation. He had created them, so he wanted to interact with them. He created man, so he wanted to rest so he could interact with them. And because he wanted relationship. And that's one of the things is mankind was, he was a different creation than the plants or the animals. There was a more specific purpose for Adam and mankind, because they were the only ones of creation that was created in God's image. But God had a very specific purpose for creating man. And, but if you kind of step back and think about just an inventor in general, an inventor, when he wants to invent something, he begins with a need, and then he creates what will take care of that need. Never will he create something and then hold it up or look at it and think, now, wow, now what can I use that for? No inventor will ever create something without a purpose first. There's always that purpose and that reason to invent something. Because the whole idea is that out of the invention of it, he has a purpose for it. He never creates something to wonder what he is going to do with it. He's always got a purpose. And this was man. This was God with man. He had a purpose. He just didn't create man in his own image and then think, wow, what am I going to do with this person? With this invention. He never said that. He had a purpose, a very definite reason to create man. And he created him to fulfill a place in the earth. And then in the scripture it says God formed man from the dust of the earth and breathed into his nostrils the breath or spirit of life. Man, basically, he became the union or the marriage of God and the earth. Man was a spirit man and he was an earth man. And no other creation was a spirit man and an earth man. But it was like man became the connector between God and the earth. He was the conduit for the relationship between God and the earth. Because he was made in God's image, and he was of spirit, and he was of the earth. So God had a specific day for himself and man to rest, because they were created in his image, and he had a reason for man. And he had a specific day for them to rest together. And he even called that day a holy day. He called it, it was a special day. It was something very profound to God. So he called it holy. He called the Sabbath holy. And because why he called it holy was because it was a place of relationship and intimacy between God and man. The Sabbath is a very important day. It's a day of relationship. It represented the love and importance that God placed upon man. And it was the importance of them resting together. It was about relationship. Man was not an accident. He wasn't an afterthought, but he was created to rest in God in relationship. And God was just so excited about man. And that's the reason he walked in the cool of the evening with Adam and Eve and with Adam and talked to him. And you know, they had relationship. And this is the reason God rested, was for that relationship. And because he knew out of the place of rest, there's an intimacy that is born. And this is another reason why God is calling us to enter his rest, because he's calling us back into relationship where we both are resting together in intimacy. And my next session, I will continue talking about man's purpose, but we'll go just a little bit deeper into what that means. Bye.